Yes, we very much apologize for that.
There we go. And we are back once more for the just in time for the race of Super Formula. So indeed, it will be. Yep, and it does look like just fine. It's quite a few drivers starting 2 slots back. And we have some drivers that were starting behind me. Jack Olivier on pole, and will be interesting to see what will be. What are your predictions for this race? A lot of drivers out. Uh, Outside of the normal positions where they would be qualifying, especially Johan Karolczak, Juan Gramage, there will be drivers who will be looking to try and make their moves up the grid as far as possible.
For sure, and I think the order we expected, I think it's gonna be very much a lot of overtakes, especially from people like Johan Karojak, who is starting behind the race director, funnily enough, and also Juan Gramage is a midfield driver, so we expect him to get some moves as well, done early. And I think the driver with the most progression, I think, does the position. So I'm gonna say early. I think it's gonna be Burks. He's usually a very handy driver, so we're gonna see if he sticks to that as well. Also, Anu P11 as well. He's gonna be one of the drivers to keep an eye on as well. David got a P4 at Australia last time around, so also another driver to keep a look at.
Indeed, and it will be certainly interesting to see what the drivers can come up with this here today. Sarah Molfetova starting there in P3. Andy Park, I believe it is their first race as well. So let's see if Andy Park can dislodge Jack Olivier and still make their mark on this championship here today. Now we have lights coming on just now. We have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights, and away they go. Jack Olivier gets a very good start. Andy Park gets a decent start as well. Ron Justin already getting a slightly better start than Sam Mulfatoro, already on the inside in going into turn number 1. Oh, Jack Olivier runs extremely wide. Manages to keep the first place just by a smidgen, and most of the drivers are able to get through relatively easy. Roland Justin making his way by Sarah Mulfatova, taking third place. Can Sarah fight back? She fights back on turn number 2, runs extremely deep. That is a very Lando Norris attempt at overtaking, but does not work out for her and has to settle back for 4th place, already being under pressure from Tukin Gozuz, who's got an excellent start already up to P5 ahead of some of the other drivers. Johan Karolczak making up 7 places.
One of the things I've noticed so far is the heavy. Oh, somebody ran into crowd there, but regardless of that, I noticed that there's some very heavy push pass usage already on the first straight, which is very interesting for me. And I wonder if the drivers will rather use it. Oh,
Ooh.
somebody's gone off of there as
I
well.
believe that's Peter
And
Urban.
Yep, like I was saying, I think the push to pass is going to be really crucial for your progress in this race for trust. Johan Krojak already up to P10, which is very impressive.
Indeed, it will be extremely impressive to see what happened. Well, what is extremely impressive is Jan Korczak charge up the field. Ooh, making another spot from P20 up to P9, making up 11 places. That's a blisteringly quick, clean first lap from the Frenchman.
Yep, for sure, and I think he's definitely betting on a charge. As we're seeing, Ruth, Cooper, and Anno both using push passes, which is very interesting.
Indeed, side by side they go into turn number 2. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Who's going to be clean? Side by side it still goes. Sky Cooper gives just enough time. Ryan Roof should have the better drive, being on the outside in a slightly longer turn. Still neck and neck. Let's see if the turn 3 will decide it. Arnold just behind is going to settle back. Oh, there's contact between Ryan and Sky Cooper. Ryan just turns into Sky Cooper, and there's more wheel bang between Arno and
Oh,
Sky
completely
Cooper.
squeezes him off, and they're both off.
They're both. Oh, this has a hallmark of, I believe it was Kimi and Sebastian Vettel having their get together at the exact same racetrack at the exact same corner.
Yeah, but it looked like a very lazy crash, and yeah, that is very surprising.
It looked to me like Arno didn't leave enough space for the driver on the outside, so I think that might be onto him as David Cook takes 11th place from Michał Szydlecki.
Yep, for sure. And Andy Parks has the first lap of the race, so he's they're definitely on a charge to get Jack Olivier and get their race lead back.
Johan Karolczak already on the back of Sky P. Cooper, 3 times behind, chasing that 6th place. We will have a battle for the 1st place as well. Johan Karolczak makes his way by, already using 2 of his push to passes. Sarah Mulfatova saving her push to passes, as we know she loves to do that. Johan Karolczak goes very deep, locks up the grade, locks up his brakes, and that's going to allow Sky Cooper with his own push to pass to drive by Johan Karolczak.
Yep, for sure. And I think Johan Krojak so far is looking at this race, looking at the race lead, which is incredible to say. But with 16 minutes left to go, there is still a lot of play here.
Indeed, there will be a lot to play by. He is about 8 seconds off the race lead at the moment, so might not be looking for the race lead. The two drivers up front have been looking extremely racy, and he still has to make his way by Sky Cooper and Tuki Gonzalez as well.
Yep, for sure. And Johan Krojak, he is definitely very much a hunter, a hunted become hunter because usually he's the one hunting people, getting hunted. But right now he's
Oh, and
hunting
something happened to
people
Andy
for nothing.
Park. Andy Park is off, dropping down to 5th place.
Wow, that is really unfortunate from them. They were performing really, really well, but I guess a simple mistake going to turn one perhaps, and yeah, that was it.
Oh, it's a disastrous race as Johan Krojak makes his way by Sky P. Cooper. Sky P. Cooper will be looking to get back on the following straight. Now, this is going to be very interesting given that the nature of Red Bull Ring is going to allow drivers to use push to passes on 3 separate straights with separate tactics. So if somebody gets by you, just save your push to pass for the following straight and you should just be able to drive away from them. Andy Park reclaiming 4th place.
Essentially, it is like that, but like that's why I said earlier that push pass is crucial for your development during the race. So I'm really interested to see when the drivers are going to be deploying the push passes. Johan Krojc's gone gun ho very early with
Oh, Sky
7 push
Cooper in the
passes
gravel.
left. Oh, that is unfortunate from Cooper. Really, really unfortunate. But Jack Olivier says a fast lap in the meantime. But like I was saying, some of the drivers are really going very gun ho with their push passes. We're seeing Johan with 7, Cooper with 7, Roof with 7. Meanwhile, some like Sarah Michalova have yet to have yet to use one of their push passes. So it's
We
very
have
interesting for the development of the race, that's for sure.
We have another driver plummeting down the road. That's Michał Siedlecki in the woes somewhere, just coming out. Oh, and Andy Park has a spin again, too early on the front for Andy Park. That's going to cost him that 4th slot that he worked hard to regain from Tuki Gonzalez. And Arrow Autosport is looking very good for the Constructors' Championship here with a 2nd and 4th place.
Yep, for sure. And I think I think Adipayo just again a little bit too early on the throttle perhaps and spinning up those rear tires. And you don't want to be doing that in a rear wheel drive car, that's for sure.
Certainly not something like an open wheeler. Like Super Formula, the the torque that these cars have and the low weight of them out of low speed corners, that's just a recipe for a spin.
I think yeah, you're doing your best Sebastian Vettel impression. But regardless of that, I was just saying, Quagramash also on the driver's side, very towards the back in P20 something, already up to P9 in the points. So very good job from Quagramash, of course. He was watching the MotoGP and got very upset that his driver
Oh,
pitted for the wrong tires, and looks like he is also not doing his best driving impression right now with that little mistake. But regardless of that, he's performing really well still.
he's 1 place behind Takoda, and the 8th place is crucial for second race, especially for Juan, as that is a reverse grid slot. So whoever is in 8th place at the end of the race or within that top 8 will have the slots reversed. So the driver starting on the 21st row, I believe it was, getting into that 8th place will be extremely crucial for having an excellent race too.
Wang Ramaj has been a reverse bow, and one time he was a reverse bow at Shanghai, he jumped the start and go drive through, so he will definitely not want to be performing those heroics once again.
Well, definitely no, but hopefully he will have learned his lesson from the drivers are spreading themselves out a little bit with the with the different use of push to passes. We already see like Ryan Roof already using half of his push to passes. It is almost halfway down halfway through the race time. So he's about on track if he can save those 5 push to passes for the last 10 minutes.
Yep, for sure, and Wang Ramaj is definitely right now. You just keep his composure, don't panic. And he has all the time in the world. And Dakota may make a mistake themselves. You never know. So that's my view of that battle right now.
And he has 2 more push to passes, not as much as Berkis or Sarah Molfatova, who have yet to use their push to passes. The drivers up front, you can tell the further you go down the order, the more liberal the use of push to passes is. As you go up the order, the more conservative those drivers are.
Yep, I think the more conservative, of course, is gonna work out in the late part of the race. But again, Sarah Mikhailova, they don't usually push passes here, which is really concerning me. I can't lie, because at this point you should have used at least one, two push passes. And that is my biggest concern in terms of their race developments. Hopefully, I think Sarah Makers is using a push pass right now. And there we go, as I said it. And Roller just said also is a push pass to negate that effect. But the slipstream is very, very overpowered, very, very crucial to get overtakes done as they go side by side to the hairpin. Let's see. Are we going to see any heroics? Yes, we're going to see a very big heroic from Sarah Mikhailova up to P2.
Indeed, and she puts herself into second place. Gideon Locke gets 5 seconds for track limits violation as Berkes makes his way. Johan Karolczak and Berkes have a little bit of a contact, it seems. That plummets Johan Karolczak outside of top 8, and after such an excellent first half of the race, Johan Karolczak will be demoted to outside of that top 8, running as high as 6th place, sorry.
Yep, I think Johan, like I said earlier, he went very much gun ho, and I think that might have taken an effect on his tires. These tires are very heat sensitive, so as soon as you overheat them a little bit, things turn very sour really quickly in
And
these cars.
And that seems to be a trait following every single car by Race Sim Studio. They're very heat sensitive for the tires. Sarah puts in a 110.4, just on pace with Jacques Olivier. But being on pace does not give you race win. She needs to be faster than Jacques Olivier.
I mean, to be fair, matching lap times with Jack Olivier is still an accomplishment. He is a very quick and accomplished driver, so yeah, you definitely have to keep that in mind as well, because Jack Olivier has quietly ran off with this race. We haven't even talked much about it, but he just quietly ran off after his overtake on lap 1.
Indeed, and we see Roland Justin not letting go of Sarah Molfetova, still keeping a respectable touching distance with her. Andy Park, in the meantime, trying to make up for the trials and tribulations that he put himself through in the first half of the race, back on the tail end of Tuki Gonzalez, and let's see what they can do.
Yep, for sure. And I think Andy Park right now is definitely just. He feels a little bit frustrated after his mistake. Of course, that is second down to fifth. But again, he just needs to keep his composure, keep his cool. And I think Tuki Gonzalez, I think for him, will actually be easy
Oh, that was a
pickings.
big
As I say
slide.
that. As I say, that is a very crucial mistake. And that's definitely going to cost. And there goes. Already cost him a whole second, essentially.
Essentially extremely whole second, as we have a first retirement of the race. We have Gideon Locke retiring from the race out of P19. So let's see if we see them back again. We don't really like to see drivers just quitting halfway through the race, but let's stay on board with this battle for a little bit unless the battle for 6th place develops further. We have Juan Gramage closing on the back of Takoda, and a little bit of a ACTV having a moment.
Well, Dave. Okay, that was the moment. Okay, I thought it was the genuine.
No, that's just the live timings being live timings once again. And we see Juan Gramage on the charge to get that 7th place from Takada. We've seen him being extremely quick. He's been very liberal now to use the remainder of his push to passes.
Yep, for sure. And I think Juan Gramage, he has one more push pass compared to Tacoma. And I wonder if he's going to put into good use on the final lap.
Indeed, and like the Bulgarian game, which is just a waiting game at this point.
The waiting game, I'll tell you, is 1-0 to Bulgaria right now. But Juan Gramage is definitely chasing after Dakota. Very much so, chasing and pressuring him into a mistake. Let's see if that will actually happen from Juan Gramage in the Red Bull livery inspired car.
Indeed, and his advantage Dakota at the moment. Andy Park on the back of Tuki Gonzalez once again. One more push to pass. We have 8 push to passes with 7 minutes left. I think these two have left a little bit too much time for push to pass. As we see Berkes as well, just in the tail end there. Andy Park making their way by Tuki Gonzalez with an easy push to pass maneuver. But let's not discount the chasing trio of Berkes, Dakota and Juan to make themselves known for this battle for 4th place.
I mean, all it depends is just for Gonzalez and Park to scrap. And right now, it seems like we might not be getting. I think Andy Park has actually ran clear now of Gonzalez. And I said earlier that he just needs to keep his composure and get past them. And that's what exactly he has done. But I think this chasing pack of P7 to P6 to P8 definitely have a fighting chance for even better positions overall.
Indeed, and with a better drive out of the last Juan is getting closer and closer to that slipstreaming distance. Another 10th and a half taken out of Dakota's advantage. With one more push to pass, and all three of them using push to pass at the exact same time. They're getting very close to Tuki Gonzalez to make it a four-way fight. Not for P5, not for P6, but for P5 instead.
Yeah, for sure. And this fight definitely looks very interesting. And I think I'm really excited to see how this fight will be looking in the final laps, especially the final lap.
Indeed, we still have 6 minutes to go, so we have about 5 or 6 more laps remaining of this race. And if these drivers can stay within such close distance between one another, it will certainly be interesting to see what happens.
For sure, for sure. And Juan Gramash is definitely trying to keep his cool as much as possible because he doesn't want to get too heated in his car. And I think he's definitely looking like a hot favorite right now for in this fight. He has the experience, he has the ability. He just needs to keep his cool together,
And
and I think
now
he's
he
keeping
has
it
to
right now.
run down to turn one. Look at the speed difference between himself and Dakota. Will he actually make a move? He's down the inside. Oh, there's contact between himself and Dakota.
Oh, that's a shame.
Dakota gets spun out. That promotes Johan Karolczyk out to 8th place. Johan Karolczyk will be just smiling and saying, well, not the way I wanted to take 8th place, but I will certainly take it after the qualifying and the discussion that happened today. But that has put Johan Karolczyk and Andy Park has disconnected. Something happened to Andy Park momentarily to dip out, and is now back down in 7th place. So something happened there.
Without a steering wheel as well, so that's very impressive how he's driving that car.
Very
So
much so.
Skono Burks right now is in the hot seat for chasing Gonzalez. Now Burks kind of came out of nowhere and he's looking like he might take the fourth spot. But we're gonna see with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go.
Indeed, 4 minutes 30 to go. We have battles for 4th place. We have a battle for 7th place between Johan Karolczyk and Andy Park. We had a battle for 10th place, I believe it was, but David Cook overcooked a little bit too much, added too much salt, and is now recovering on the final sector of the race. We can see very tentatively with a very heated tires that are just a little bit too well done.
Yep, exactly. He overstarted it, but he watered down the stew and it's edible now. And yeah, regardless of that, Burks is definitely performing really, really well this race. I have to say that he's one of the drivers that has impressed me. And right now he's looking very much in the hot seat for P4. Gonzalez not looking too comfortable, I have to say.
Indeed, Gonzalez is not looking too comfortable. He had to fight for that 4th position many times before, and mostly due to the misfortune of others is he able to keep that 4th place. Let's see if he's able to fend another challenger to that place. Mike Ramash is still catching up very quickly as well. He was 2 seconds back. Now he is 1.2 seconds, so we might see a Spaniard in top 5.
Yep, a Spaniard in P5 would be really nice.
Samuel
but right now,
Fatova is off. Samuel Fatova out of
Oh.
turn 1.
Oh.
She might lose 2 more places as Tuki and Berkey's now arrive on the scene. Well, that's going to make things a little bit more interesting. That is a news that they would love to hear. Down the inside goes Berkey's. That is a move that's very much on. Squeezes Sarah to the outside, gives just enough room. A bit of contact there, nothing too much. Luckily, we don't have tire shredding in Assetto Corsa, but Sarah will be able to retake that place with a push to pass of her own.
I mean, Sarah, to be fair, I was just really fortunate. Really unfortunate because I was just about to praise Sarah for her performance today, coming out kind of in the cold. Only done the first race, and yeah, they've definitely performed really, really well. And it's just fortunate they made a mistake. Of course, Sarah is a seasoned veteran.
Oh,
in this
Berkey's
guy.
is in the wall. Berkey's is in the gravel, sorry. Berkey's in the gravel, battling for that 4th place with Tuki Gonzalez. Is now plummeting down the order. He's outside of the reverse grid now, with 2 minutes to go. Was there any contact involved? No, it wasn't contact. It was all self-inflicted.
That was very, very fortunate for Bergs. Again, like I said, one of the drivers that has impressed me in this first race, and it's really unfortunate. Let's look at the scrap we're gonna see right now. I think for this third position, Juan Gravage, Gonzalez, and Sarah scrapping away
As I
as
carry
Tuki
on
gets the position done.
commentating, we have Sarah Mulfetova on the back of Tuki Gonzalez. Tuki Gonzalez retook third place from Sarah Mulfetova. Sarah Mulfetova with a push to pass of her own. Well, she has one more push to pass. Tuki has 3 more push to passes. So Tuki
So
Gonzalez in the driving seat.
Sarah needs to make the gap now. Essentially, she needs to run away now, and now, if she wants a fighting chance for this third place.
Indeed, as Tuki Gonzalez gets a whiff of that dirty air from Sarah going into that middle section, has to just lift off too much, doesn't have the front downforce due to that, and again for these fast right-handers he will have to lift off a little bit more, but that will be to a better extent. Now he has a drive. Does he use the push to pass now, or does he wait for the following straight? It will be the following straight, and I think we are entering the final lap of the race.
We might enter the final lap of the race, and
Big moment for Juan.
And Gonzalez has yet to use his push pass as well. It's really got shocked me. I thought this was his chance to go for it, but I guess not. And that is giving Andy Park, who's now back in this fight for third place, as well as Juan, a fighting chance. It's like I told you, this fight, the pack between Gramage and and Andy Park has developed really spice, a lot of spice in this fight.
Indeed, we have side by side with Andy Park and Juan Gramash. Andy Park retakes 5th position from Juan with a much better move. Gonzalez with a slight mistake now puts himself under pressure from Andy Park again. It's Groundhog Day for Tuki Gonzalez as he is defending 4th place once again, as I believe that was Peter Urban making himself, putting himself outside of the, well, inside of the turn, outside of the racing lines for lapping traffic. And Andy Park will try again. Juan Gramage is trying to look down into Andy Park. Andy Park runs wide, tries to come back on the track. No room left by Juan Gramage. Not that he needs to down the inside. Does he get a better drive? Down the line we go, and it will be Juan Gramage who will keep 5th position ahead of a massive spinning Sarah Mulfatova. Andy Park will be very disappointed with that 6th place for pace he had for that top spot, but it is your race winner Jacques Olivier that will cement his stake in the championship by trying to move closer to that top podium ahead of Roller Justin, who was looking to close as much as he could to Jacques Olivier. And Sarah will take P3, Tuki Gonzalez P4, Juan P5, Andy P6, Johan Krolscher will take P7. Will be within that reverse grid even after that little incident with, I believe it was Berkey's. Takoda takes P8, P9 for Berkey's, P10 for Ryan Roof inside top 10 as Ege Kante takes 11th, Imran Shaikh takes 12th, Shidletsky takes 13th, Ona Henstock takes 14th, 15th for Skype Cooper, Daniel Kleppel takes 16th, 17th for Arno, 18th for Peter Urban, David Cook takes 19th, disappointing considering he was running well around that 10th position, and Gideon Locke will take 20th.
A terrible race one for the Wingers racing team for sure. I really want to see Dave's reaction as he spun and teleported to the pits. That's one clip I would really want to see.
Indeed, it will certainly be very interesting to see, but we will now have a reverse grid top 8, so it will be Takoda on pole with Johan Krolscher second, P3 for Andy Park, P4 for Juan Gramash, P5 for Tuki Gonzalez, 6 for Sarah, 7 for Ron Justin, and Jacques Olivier will take P8 in that reverse grid pole.
For sure, and I think right now, what were your impressions of race one? How did you find it yourself, Matt?
How did I find it? It will certainly be interesting, and we can now watch instant replay, which is a good feature to know. So we can watch the instant replay now. Good to know. So if we're in between sessions, we can watch an instant replay.
That is very good to know, that's for sure. Thank you, whoever let us know that. I'm just rubbing my glasses. They go a little bit dirty, you know, all the oil around this or spilling from these cars kind of gets to the commentary box here. So just wiping the oil off my glasses.
Indeed. So we'll just wipe that oil. Maybe a little bit of salt in there as well.
But don't oversalt it like David Cook.
No, don't oversalt it indeed.
You need to stop. You need to stop rubbing it in with salt. Rubbing the wounds with salt of David Cook because he was looking really, really good up until the incident.
I mean, I would stop rubbing salt in the wound if he wasn't if he didn't have a chef surname.
I mean, what can the guy do? He can't say his family name. The Scotsman of David Cook.
Indeed, the Scotsman of David Cook.
I wonder if he'll cook us a chicken tikka masala as a national dish of Scotland.
Oh, see. I'm just gonna have a quick look to see what the drivers are saying in the meantime.
Just make sure you don't get cancelled. That's all I'm gonna say.
Indeed, and Johan Karolczak has just said before the race start, P21 out of 20 drivers. It's a very interesting proposition.
I mean, that's what happens when you have race director and commentator sign as a car on the grid, which is the limitations of Assetto Corsa, I guess.
Indeed, unfortunately, it is. It is what it is.
As I take a sip of water and get ready to do another 20 minutes of breathtaking action, I must say.
There's been a breathtaking action as well. And there's been questions pertaining to the validity of your voice, saying, "Where has it gone, my man?"
What do you mean where my voice is gone? I'm not really. I guess people want me to shout, and if people want that, then I don't mind. Like today, I thought I would just be a little bit more chilled out, you know, a little bit more reserved. But I guess people want me to shout and be more passionate. I thought I was passionate enough, but I guess not. I guess I'm not showing it.
Vince passion currently lies in his second screen.
The passion does go by second screen. As the second half is about to kick off between Bulgaria and Northern Ireland. At half time is at the start of second half is 1-0 to Bulgaria, and hopefully Bulgaria can hold on so I can celebrate my country's first victory in, I believe, would be
5 centuries.
6. To be fair, San Marino won the other day against Liechtenstein. That was the first competitive win since the establishment of the national team in the 80s. So 40 years of hurt for the San Marino national team until they got their first victory.
And unfortunately, Bulgaria does not have the team it once had with Barbatov, I believe it was.
Berbatov is in the stands, I think, for this game. But I know who's in the stands. Us, as we're about to see the 6 lights go out.
Indeed, and we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights, and what will it be for Takoda and Johan Karolczak as they start from the front row? The lights go out. It's an excellent start from Takoda. A not as good start from Johan Karolczak. An excellent start from Andy Park as he is already racing to take the lead in the first corner, making up 3 positions from the start. Johan Karolczak makes his way by Takoda to take second place, and further chaos down the field. Well, I would say chaos in a very loose term. The drivers are still pointing the right way.
I'm seeing like 4 wide moments. I saw a 4 wide moment at the back.
Oh, there's contact between Roller Justin and Colonel Bexis. There's more drivers coming off. There's drivers coming back on the track.
Oh,
terrible
rejoins.
With massive damage from after that. And then we have a 2x2 between Andy Takoda and Johan Jacques-Olivier. Tuki Gonzalez in the mix. Juan Gramaj makes himself known. Sarah Mulfetova is just behind them all. And Johan Karolczak takes the lead from Andy Park, who is under pressure from Jacques-Olivier. And this is going to play very well to the Frenchman if he can maintain that from Andy Park. Now, Andy Park, we know how fast he can be, just lacks that consistency. And there's a race restart.
Wow. That is very controversial, in my opinion. But that's what the race directors have decided. Hopefully David Cook, who was one of the retirees, can get back in the race.
Indeed. So let's see what the drivers say about that. Some drivers say good decision from one driver. Another driver saying apologies for the race, but we will see what is going to happen on this second race start. As David Cook is now back.
He definitely overcooked it on the first start. Hopefully he doesn't overcook it on the second start. race start, I should mention.
Indeed, and we have seen that somebody said 5 wide going into turn number 3, which is colloquially known as turn number 2. So
It is turn 3.
it's turn 2.
It's turn 3.
It's turn 2. That little king does not count.
In F1 terms, it does not count. In a Skoda Octavia 2008, it does count.
It does not count in the slightest. That little king does not count.
It counts.
It does not
It's an
count.
official. It's officially on the map, so you have to respect
I don't
it.
care what it says on the map. It's merely experimenting. It's still turn 2.
In your league, you can call it turn 2. If we're going by official terms, it's turn 3.
Officially, the official matter is the only matter that aligns with mine. Everything else is a conspiracy theory and misinformation.
That is very much investigative journalism from Matthias Marsh, I have to say.
Very much so.
But enough of investigative journalism and more about race reports.
So
And we're about to do our...
how
Yes.
in the slightest is they race the owner of the series, not his own moderator on his own channels. As 6 lights go off, 6 lights go off. It's a good start from Dakota, an even better start from Johan Karolczak this time around. Andy Pike gets an even still a better start, already doing what he did in race 1, but even before he gets to turn 1, he's ahead, a full car length behind everyone else as they make their way one by one. Let's see what will happen
Teleport
into...
back to pits, please.
As we see, oh, please spare. I should be in the pits.
You should be in the pits, yeah. Oh, you weren't.
I think I was, I'm not sure.
I don't think we affected anybody's race. But regardless of that, Johan Karolczak definitely very much infected with the first place virus.
Indeed, so he's got first place virus. Dakota under pressure from Jack Olivier. Jack Olivier not getting as good start as this time around. Sarah Mulford Tova getting better start than last time around. It seems like we managed to make our way through the track way better than last time around.
For sure, and Sarah Mikhailova is one of the few drivers that didn't use the push pass, which I think might be the sensible thing. But sometimes sensible isn't the right decision, so we just have to see how this race will play out as they go very wide, unfortunately.
Indeed, so they go very wide. Sarah Mulfatova takes 4th place. We have Jack Olivier trying to make as much ground as possible. We have Roland Justin down in P11, so he's a little bit losing out on those places. Started in 7th place, is down to P11, just ahead of his other teammate, Isbran Stopper, down in 12th place.
Yeah,
So
for
let's
sure,
see.
and Sarah Mikhailova is chasing as she potentially makes the
Contact
tees
between
with the-
Jack Olivier and Sarah! Sarah is spun around by the freshman. That's going to be a penalty, most certain, coming Jack Olivier. But given the distance that he had in race 1, he might just be able to drive around everybody and pull away from the repercussions of that maneuver.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. One of the 5 favorites has been involved in an incident, which is really unfortunate.
Indeed, extremely unfortunate. Andy Pike has made his way by Johan Karolczak, already 6 tenths ahead. 2nd place, will the Frenchman sit back and accept 2nd place, or will he try to get back at the Chilean driver? As Jack Olivier sets his sights for Tuki Gonzalez and seeing if he can make it into top 3 and as quickly as possible make his way to the top. Oh, there's more. Was there more contact, or was there just a little bit?
Goodness! He's dead!
That is contact with Tuki Gonzalez. What was? I'm not sure what that was. That almost looked like there was a closing
Spike.
a lag spike. Indeed, that felt like a lag spike. There was a closing speed of 140 kilometers, so that might be a little bit damage to Jack Olivier's front wing, and especially around the track like Austria, where front wing is so crucial. That might put a little bit of a damper on Jack Olivier, especially since he will be under investigation post-race for that collision with Sarah.
They are very much dead, whoever was involved in the incident. I'll be surprised if there is an other outcome. I'm sorry, but I will be.
I will be surprised if there is a car still left to drive after that, as Jack Olivier, within 4 tenths behind Johan Karolczak, his French compatriot, as Andy Park and now Jacques Olivier sets the fastest lap time with a 1:10.133, even with that damage.
It's very, to be fair, maybe that slipstream is really that important, setting a faster lap time. But Jacques Olivier will be trying definitely to run away, baby, and potentially get the race victory by just adding to his race time.
Indeed, and Johan Karolczak and Colonel Berkey's a repeat of race 1. These two scrapping once again. Johan Karolczak around the outside has the overspeed. Cornell down the inside. Who's late on the brakes? Side by side on the exit. Cornell has the exit. Blocks Juan from coming on by. Good defensive maneuver from the Hungarian. Looking to make up.
Very good.
Yeah, as I was saying, he was looking to make up for the woes in race 1 right towards the end.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be fair, Hungary has. Actually, I'm not gonna make it political. Let's just say it was a very good defensive maneuver from them.
Indeed, as Andy Park back into the grasps of Johan Karolczak, as well as Andy lost 0.6 of a second on that lap to Johan Karolczak and the chasing Jacques Olivier. Jacques Olivier with a push to pass on this corner is going to close real up to Johan Karolczak. That might actually not play to both of their advantage if they decide to fight.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Jacques Olivier right now is definitely in the hot seat for at least taking the victory on the circuit. Of course, we have to see what the other outcomes might be. I think honestly, Jacques Olivier would be happy with a race victory, but a qualifying ban. I will be honest.
It very much might be. I'm not too sure about the qualifying ban. It will certainly be very tight. Oh, who is that with a wild exit? That's Anno.
No.
Keeping the car just under control. So let's switch back to the battle for the lead between Andy Park, Jacques Olivier, and Johan Karolczak.
For sure, and Johan is definitely Cooper and Sarah again involved in an incident.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. Sarah was running in the 10th place, so something must have happened prior to Sarah and Cooper getting involved in an incident, as Andy Park losing some more time to Jacques Olivier. Johan Karolczak hanging back and letting Jacques Olivier chase after Andy Park, which could be a more way smarter course of action.
For sure. And I think that Jacques Olivier definitely wants to get the move on. Really wants Andy to hurry up, in the sense that he wants to get the overtake done, but at the same time he doesn't feel like he needs to get doesn't want to drag along Andy as well, because after all, he's the one going to be facing the penalties potentially, of course.
Indeed,
as Sarah
fifth driver
Sarah has
now.
retired from the race.
Fifth driver joins the DNF list, so all the drivers will be now in the 17th places.
For sure, and yeah, a lot of retirements. I guess they couldn't keep their cool in the second race.
Indeed. So Johan Karolczak falling back is now 1.4 seconds behind. That might start putting him into the clutches of Takoda and Berkey's behind them as well. And it does look like those two behind them are moving at a 10th to 2/10, little bit more. So we might have a battle for the final podium place between four drivers. At the moment, it's the battle for the first place. Andy Park just ahead of Jacques Olivier. 3 times go. None of them using push to pass, which is an interesting choice. This would be an ideal place to use them. They're all trying to save it for the later stage of the race, but the pace that Jack was showing in race 1, I would have assumed that he would try and make his way by as quickly as possible.
Yep, for sure. And I think that Jacques Olivier, as Ven has been activated, as we're saying, Jacques Olivier is chasing now Andy Park. And I think this fight will be absolutely tremendous to follow during this race. It's a battle for the lead. Jacques Olivier pressuring Andy Park. One more push to pass, which could be crucial in the development of this fight. As we go on board with the nose camera, a lot of vibration, but Andy Park is shaking in his boots right now because he has a very intimidating Frenchman behind him. As you guys might not know, the French are very good at cooking, and I think Jacques Olivier is about to cook up the move as Denico gives his push to pass advantage. Actually, Andy Park has 8. I'm blind. But regardless, like he's using push and pass. This could be an opportunity that he's seizing for. Let's see. I scared into the hairpin now. Is it gonna be enough to go for the outside? Nobody's not there. Oh, there's no. I'm not sure what happened if he hit him or not, but this is absolutely amazing, tremendous fight between the drivers right here. And Matt, can you take over for a second?
In there, and it looked like Jack Olivier drove underneath of Andy Park's car, just lifted the rear car up a little bit, just preventing him from accelerating again from the corner. Has to, luckily, didn't mount to much else, otherwise it could have been even more troubles with the shoes for Jack Olivier. But what is happening with the rest of the race? It looks like Roland Justin not being able to make his way through the race as much as he could.
Indeed, that will be very disappointing for Roland Justin. Very much dominant performance in Australia, like I said, but not very much a dominant performance in race 2 for them. But regardless of that, all we care about right now is Andy Park versus Jack Olivier. Olivier 2 push passes behind Andy Park, which is really, really unfortunate. And Andy Park does have the advantage. Jack Olivier doesn't use the push pass here, which is very interesting to see and to note. Dakota used the push pass, so does Burks down this back straight, and Quagrabaj used the push pass. Very interesting. From P4 up to P6, they decided the push pass is optimal right now. As Jack Olivier, a little bit of oversteer, but he's behind him. He's behind Andy Park in the slipstream range, and he uses push pass, but Andy Park does as well to mitigate the effect. I think there's a lap car in front as well. Tuki Gonzalez, that's actually surprised to see was a lap car. But regardless of that, Andy Park defends from Jack Olivier. He has a push with using his push pass advantage. And I think Jack Olivier is really going to struggle to pass. But straight lines, Zelensky is going to pass Sano. Yes, he does. Heading into the hairpin. Let's see if Vano's going to send it down inside. He tries to keep his cool. And yes, he does keep his cool. And doesn't ram him off the circuit. And he is unfortunately slipped down to 12th position. But Zelensky is in 11th right now. As Burks is now chasing Dakota. And the Cyanide car will definitely try to, again, just needs to keep his cool. Like I always mentioned, keeping your cool is one of the most important things you can do. It really, like, just keeping your cool, don't panic, don't panicking, just getting in the rhythm, keeping that rhythm is crucial for consistent race performance. The squad Gramage goes to China and back with those track limits, but regardless of that, he is alive and well as Stoper looks to get a move on the Red Bull Inspired livery of Juan Gramage. Hopefully, he might not be able to follow in his idol Marc Marquez in the race victory today, as he won in MotoGP today, but he's definitely looking at a very decent poised position. As Corno Burks is chasing now Dakota, and this fight looks also very, very interesting, and will be very interesting how it develops. The Chopper uses the push pass. I think he's trying to make the move here on Gramage. This could be very exciting. This could be very exciting. Let's see if Chopper's going to send it. Is he going to send it? Yes, he goes around the outside. Let's see. He's going to be the king of the late breakers. Quite looks to be the king of the late breakers. There was a little bit of contact, yes, and Matt, can you take over once again?
Indeed, so there was a little bit of contact from Juan Gramage, just nudging his best stop a little bit wider than he probably could have. Wheel-to-wheel racing, you don't exactly see real wheel-to-wheel racing in open wheelers that's usually reserved for touring cars. So Ismail Stopper has to settle back for 7th place. We have a battle for 6th place between him and Juan Gramage. We have a battle for 4th place between Dakota and Burkis. We have a battle for the lead between Andy Park and Jack Olivier. Jack Olivier just every single lap, 10th by 10th, just getting closer and closer to Andy Park. He is 2 push-to passes down, but Andy Park will have to start using them sooner rather than later, and it'll probably have to be sooner as he now has more than 1 push-to-pass per lap. So to maintain that advantage, I reckon this is where they will both use push-to-passes. Jack Olivier within the slipstream distance. Is he close enough? He's losing ground just ever so slightly, being saved by the slipstream as Imran Shaikh is in the walls outside of the last corner. That gives me Shidletsky the final 10th place. As Dakota makes his way by Burkis.
And Ano has retired as well. Again, lots of retirements. They're dropping like flies here in this 20-minute race. As Dakota is still defending from Kono Burks. As you guys might have heard, Hungary. Actually, again, I'm not gonna make it political. I'm thinking about it, but I'm resisting myself from making that joke because I'm not sure how well it will go over in the commentary, post-commentary comments. But regardless of that, Dakota, the Dutchman, they might be drowning soon. But he's definitely
Andy Park has 5 seconds for cutting. As
Wow.
Jack Olivier makes his way by Andy Park, I believe Andy Park just ran a little wide, a little bit too much. And 5 seconds for Andy Park, that might put him out of contention for the lead, even if Jack Olivier gets that penalty for that contact with Sarah.
For sure, I think that's me. You may be looking at a
Round the
5 second
outside,
penalty.
he tried.
Oh, way too ambitious from Andy Park, you have to say.
That is very much a Lando Norris attempt to get by Jack Olivier, and that's probably will put to bed the challenge that Andy Park can
As
mount.
Burks is using push to pass once again, the Hungarian. I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm literally having to say out loud I'm not gonna make that joke because I'm really tempted to say it. But regardless of that, Burks is very much performing really, really well against Dakota. And I think he's definitely having that fighting spirit in him. He's got that dog in him. And it looks like he is definitely cooking up a lot of pressure, a lot of steam coming out of the pot. And that smells really, really delicious. But let's see, once you put it in the mouth, how it feels. Pause.
Indeed, and as we see, Fortin's just behind Dakota. But now remember, it's not over till it's over. Till you cross that start-finish line, as we saw in the race before, Berkes was doing well until 2 minutes left in that two left-handers. He just dropped it on the curb and span out of a 5th position, chasing another just like race, just like he is right now. So he has to keep it cool, he has to keep it under control and not push it too much. Push it just enough so he can get by, but you overstep it, and these guys don't respond very well to being overdriven, as one would say.
Sure, these cars, if you overdrive them, you may be feeling the consequence later on. But one person who's not feeling the consequence right now is Burks. He is driving the wheels of that car of his urban racing team, carrying them on his shoulders right now with his teammate Peter Urban, retired as Kepo, has spun off once again right there in the background. Actually, I think that was him. Regardless of that, Burks versus Dakota. Let's see who's gonna get the flawless victory and fatality in this fight at the end of the race. As Gideon Locke also done for corner cutting, which is really unfortunate.
And Johan Karolczak had a little bit of problem. I think that smoke that we just saw was Johan Karolczak just having a little bit of a half spin. It's just a battle.
It is absolutely amazing. There's a fight for 3rd place right now. This is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic, unbelievable, big movie-esque scenario we're seeing here for the 3rd position. But it is going to be a scrap between 3 drivers, potentially 4 if Juan Gramash can catch up in time. With 4 minutes left to go, 2 push to passes for Dakota, and Burks using his 2nd push pass. He's going to go for the move now. This is going to be absolutely amazing if he can pull this off. And yes, he does for now. Does it pull it off now? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does side by side.
Dakota has to concede. Dakota has to concede. Berkes is just ahead at the apex. Drive has a better traction. They've lost some time now to Johan Karolczak, 1.1 seconds ahead. So that little battle has played very well into Johan Karolczak. He now has extra pressure from behind that he didn't have just a lap ago. No.
The one thing I've noticed, so sorry to interrupt, is Andy Park 5 push passes.
Juan Gramash spinning just around the last corner. That's going to put him out of contention for that podium place. Dakota falling back even further. That's a 112 for Dakota. Berkes is now pulling himself back up to Johan Karolczak. 7/10. Isbrand Stoppa now made his way by Juan Gramash, and Juan Gramash might lose another place to Roland Justin.
Suki Gonzalez with a 5-second penalty just to rub more salt into his wounds after his race performance.
Indeed, Roland Justin around the inside tries to make a move. Who is he gonna make the apex? Oh, there's contact between Isbrand Stoppa and Juan Gramash, and Roland Justin is off the road as well.
With both Arrow motorsport cars like a jostling for position, Juan Gramash with an absolute mega bottle job, you have to say, from him in the last 60 seconds.
Indeed, in the last 60 seconds, just had a spin on that coming out the last corner. And again, it seems like he was on the inside for that second turn off Isbrand Stoppa and just ran him out. Just too late on the brakes, locking up all wheels, and now he's in P8 when he was looking for a P3 fight.
Yeah, for sure. In the Arrowhead, Arrow motorsport cars are laughing their asses off because right now they're 6-7, which is again a very solid points position result for them, and again, nice points for constructors, which is very crucial for them.
Indeed, Juan Gramash going very wide once again, so that's 5 seconds for
and
Juan
that's a
Gramash
penalty.
Now.
Juan with the most disastrous lap out of any laps in racing history, you have to say. But one thing that is so disastrous and is absolutely picturesque, beautiful, just like the Windows background from Windows XP. It's Johan Karojak and Koro Perks. Perks slipstreaming. We don't push the passes. I just noticed that. That's his last push to pass. And I think that pretty much means that he's not gonna get a move into the straights. And also anti-pack, like I mentioned earlier. 3 push passes left. If he used them more wisely, I think we might have seen an even closer fight for the lead. But right now, I think it's too little, too late from Andy Park. Because I wonder if we've crossed over now to the final lap. I really do.
We are actually a little bit ahead of the final lap. In fact, let me just have a quick look where the leaders are. The leaders are just coming into turn 1, so this could be the final lap time. It could be, we'll be very close to 1 or 2, to this being the last or the penultimate lap time.
For sure, and Kono Bucks is chasing Jochen Krojak, but Jochen Krojak does have push pass down the straight, and Burst has the slipstream. We've no how the up his slipstream could be, but it doesn't look like he's getting enough, unfortunately, and Burks cannot make that maneuver really unfortunate for Kono Burks. As again, I'm resisting myself from making the joke.
Unfortunately, Johan Krojak uses his final push to pass, so he should be about 7 times ahead by the time they reach the turn number 3. So even 8 times ahead. So as long as Johan Krojak can keep it pointing on the right way with quick enough execution of the corners, Kevin Burks should not have the chance of attacking Johan Krojak. There's no real opportunity in the final 2 turns for a maneuver there. It's such a fast corner. It's not from 4 times ahead. You would have to be side by side going through both of these, as indeed Jack Olivier crosses the start finish line. 2 wins, race 2, make it 2-4-2 as Andy Park gets slapped with a 5-second penalty. Yeah, Johan Krojak really did lose out on a possible race win. The 8 seconds behind Andy Park, making about 3 seconds after track limits penalty get applied. Kevin Bexis takes P4, Takoda takes P5, Eastbound Stopper will take P6, Ron Justin P7, possible investigation here as well. Juan Gramash after that bottle drop, 8th place, Gideon Locke.
Under investigation. After that incident.
After that incident, Gideon Locke takes P9 with Michał Siedlecki is going to come across in P10 as Eger will not finish 11th. It will be Skype Cooper who will finish in 11th place with Tuki Gonzalez in 13th and Klepal in 14th.
For sure, and that was definitely a very enjoyable race.
Indeed, and what could have been for Johan Krojak? There was a possible race win right there for Johan Krojak if he kept within 5 seconds of Jack Olivier without that little spin, depending how harsh the stewards decide to be.
Yep, unfortunately, Matt, you know the takeaway you ordered? It's at a hotel, and I don't want the food to get cold, so I'm gonna quickly run over to the hotel. Can you do the interviews for me, please?
Indeed, I will quickly do the interviews to see if anybody here is actually interested. And I'll actually limit it to a few interviews, because I do have a few more.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm just gonna make sure to pick up, I'll make sure to go pick up the takeaway that we ordered. I don't want the food to get cold, and somebody might rob it. I just got the DoorDash notification, so you know how it is.
It
Unfortunately,
might be DoorDash themselves.
I hope that it might be DoorDash themselves. Hopefully, because we ordered a lot. By the way, can we mention for the commentary? We ordered £100 worth of food.
Oh yeah, so, it's all put on Cyanide's credit card.
Yeah, but it's a business expense.
Yeah, business.
It's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. So,
it's a catering cost.
Exactly. So yeah. Right. See you then, everybody. It's been a pleasure commentating. Thank you for the invite, Matt. And yeah, I just love commentating with you, man. And I hope that we can continue commentating. I really do.
It is always a pleasure to commentate with you, Van, and I'll probably see you in 2 weeks' time for round 5, whichever that is, if we're actually still sticking to the regular schedule.
Right now, I'm gonna say unofficially. Unofficially, it's a Spa, which I think will be become official because Spa is included in the game itself. So yeah. All right. The food is getting cold. I'm sorry. I do apologize, Matt. We might have some cold Chinese, which I apologize, but we'll heat it up. It's fine. All right. See you then, guys. See you, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the evening. This has been Van, and hope to see you guys in 2 weeks. See ya.
All right. Take care of yourself. Right, so let's see who here would like to be like quick 3 4 people. We will have a priority. Let's see if anybody from the top 3 finishers of both races they get priority. Would like to have interviews. We have one driver, but I'm waiting if anybody from the winning, like Jack, Andy, or Johan from race 2. Not sure who was in the top 3 in race 1. Already forgot. It was Roland and Sarah. Let's see if any of those are interested. Okay, so we will have one interview here today, it would seem, and there will be an interview with Daniel Klepal, who has finished in 14th place, I believe, in the last race. Daniel, that was your your debut with Cyanide.
Actually, debut race, but I must say the race was not going as smoothly as I thought. But I made a couple of mistakes, and someone did also a couple of mistakes, so it wasn't as good as I thought. But after starting P18, it was good.
Indeed, and Trial of Fire, Red Bull Ring, a extremely high downforce track, and a track that is very known for its track limits. How easy or how hard was it to keep the car within those track limits?
Actually, I didn't got any penalty at all. So for me, it was on the last two corners. It was so hard, because when you drive into the last two corners, into the second from the last corner, you just flat out it. But there is a catch. When you steer too much, you just spin. So that was one of the worst things on the track. And I must say, sometimes it was bad, but I managed to stay in the limits most time.
Indeed, and how was battling other drivers out there today? There were quite a few. There were a few contacts there, but it seems like most drivers were able to keep it nice and cordial with one another.
Uh, yes, yeah. Sometimes it was good. Give me a moment. Yeah, sometimes the battling was good, mostly on the start of the race, when when I gained a lot actually from the first corner. But there was for example, in the first race, I was fighting with the Gideon lot, and on the turn one, made a li- I slide a bit, and I catched it, but he pushed me off the track. So that was actually the worst thing, but I must say it was pretty clean and good racing. So yeah,
And are you looking forward to the next race at Spa?
I don't know, man. We can see, but hopefully it will be better than the Red Bull. And
Indeed, but thank you for joining us here today, and I hope you had fun. And hopefully we will see you at Spa.
yeah, thank you again. Uh, Goodbye.
All right, you take care of yourself, and let's bring in Egger. Egger, P11 and P12. You're just outside of the points paying position. How was that race out for you?
Yeah, the races were kind of interesting. The first race starts, I had an instant with a 360 coming to turn 3 and was down to last, and I could only get up to, you know, P11 or P12, something like that. And on the second race, I actually went great, but then I spun just too many times, 2, 3 times. I tried to catch up, and then at the last lap, the connection was lost.
Well, that's an extremely unfortunate, and it seems to be like from the lap times you had the pace for that top 10 finish.
Yeah, I got it. Just unlucky, man. For all 3 rounds at Shanghai, there was, you know, one of the commentator guys was on the track and I hit the guy on the second lap. On all
Very much a different spin
instant?
and different spin on commentators' curse, you could say.
Yes, exactly.
Well, luckily there was none of those incidents here today. So, given the given what has happened to you at Red Bull Ring today, what are your hopes going forward into Spa in 2 weeks' time?
Well, I just hope I can get a clean race. I don't really care about the result. I just want a clean race for one time. And maybe score a point or two.
I mean, it's certainly it does certainly seem like you have the pace to score a point or two. But for my final question, Red Bull Ring is very known for its track limits violation. How difficult was it out there to keep it between the legal definitions by the rulebook of track limits?
I mean, the track limits were actually kind of easy. We could use all of the curbs, so especially on the last corners, if you go beyond that, you will spun. The cars right side are so low that if you go outside of the curve, you spun. And I did that 1 or 2 times in the race too. So on other corners, it's easy for me to avoid track limits.
Indeed, and it does seem like a lot of drivers fell foul of it, and a few drivers have received the 5-second penalty. So your position may change regarding that.
I
We will
hope so.
certainly have to see. But anyway, thank you for racing with us again. Looking forward to seeing you race once again in 2 weeks' time at Spa.
And thank you. Cheers.
All right, take care of yourself, and then this will be it for myself today. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the organizers of Cyanide Super Formula Challenge in Cyanide Racing. And thank you to all the viewers. Thank you to all the drivers that have partaken in this. And looking forward to seeing every single one of you in 2 weeks' time here in Spa. Next weekend, don't forget Let Bull Racing, because that's the my main series. Let Bull Racing is racing at Miguel Abed, Puebla in Mexico with the Ginetta GT. First, tune in for that. And in 2 weeks' time, tune in
Johan
for
still
Super
wants
Formula.
interviews if you still have time. Sorry about that. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, yeah, oh, that was extremely late call from Johan. So let's bring
That
in
was extremely late,
let's
yeah.
bring in the
Oh.
late driver here, Johan with a P3
Yeah.
finish in that second race. Oh, it could have been a P1, given that Jack Olivier is certainly getting
It's
a penalty, and
yeah,
Andy had 5 seconds for track limits.
yeah. It's in my opinion, it's going to be a race win. We've seen some replays. I'm sure there's very be something about Jack. I'm guessing. Not that I wish that. It's just that seeing some contacts he had. I'm guessing one of them is going to result in something. And I'm not doing the steward's job or whatever. I'm just expecting one. And as for Andy, the thing is, real penalty logs in the chat violations, and some kind of base 64 string in the chat. He had a lot, and we know we shouldn't rely on real penalty for that race, but for it to trigger that much, I think it's going to be more than 4 or 5 off tracks, or maybe for multiple track limits penalties. So I don't know. I'm happy with the pace. I'm happy with P3, but I'm guessing it will be at least 1 position gain for that.
And you certainly have not made it easier for yourself, especially in that race too. You were just about to lose it. You had to fight for it after that spin. I believe it was coming out of the final corner.
Yeah, we were talking at the time, and I'm not one to talk and drive at the same time and stay focused on driving. So I hate too much of the inside curb, and just it made the car bounce and lost it. I'm happy to smash the brakes and keep it straight, but yeah, quite a lot of time. But in the end, it didn't result in a loss of position on track, so that's something. That's something.
And
As for race one, it's I was quite happy with the start, starting P21. That was a story as well. Starting 25th. I think I was up in P7 or P6 after 3 laps, something like this,
I think
or maybe
you think you
fourth.
were up to P7 at the end of P7 or P8 at the end of first lap as well. So you managed to make
Yeah.
up 8, 13, 14 position in one lap
People
alone.
kept crashing. I think I was a bit overly aggressive in the straight before turn 3 in the first lap, but I didn't create 3 wides in the corner, just in the straight, so it went fine for me. People kept crashing in front, going into the gravel traps. Yeah, in the end, it just pays attrition. I made a mistake that made me lose. I think it was P6 or P7 or something like this. I lost 3 positions. I gained 2 backs, and there was just I don't remember who that stayed in front. I think it's Takudo or some. I don't remember his name. Takuda, I think. Thomas that stayed in front or whatever, but secured P2 in the race to start. In the end, it's not such a bad result, but it's not something. I mean, P8, P7, and P3, it's not that great. So I don't know.
Certainly, given that there's still rest of the championship left, are you looking forward to making a actual an even better attempt at Spa, given that you'll actually be able to set a qualifying lap time?
Is at Spa next time, so yeah, it might be better. Most of us knows it's Spa, right?
Spa, yeah.
Yeah, most of us know that track. Most of us have already driven some sort of single seater, at least on this track. Already done that track car combo. Not that it's irrelevant because there's some aliens in the championship currently. But we'll see. It sure should be better. Spa first corner is what it is, to be fair. But it's at least it's a low speed corner. You don't reach it that quickly. You reach it, I think, with the lower speed than in Red Bull Ring or something similar. And the track is wider. It's more varied. There's more corners, more slow, medium, high speed corners. Yeah, I think it's going to be more. It's going to be easier for me there.
Indeed, so
It doesn't realize that much on hard braking and low speeds.
will certainly be interesting to see what will come of that race. But thank you for joining us here today, Johan, and well
thank
done
you.
for the race result here today. Given that you started 21st out of a 20-car grid, it's been a miraculous recovery.
A bit much, eh?
Yeah, so you had to make up more spots than you usually would have had to starting at the end.
Yeah. I'm not used to start right at the back. I'm used to reverse grids, usually depending on the communities around. Like here it's P8. Already encountered P6. I mean top 6 up to top 12, but right at the back, yeah, I never experienced that in this kind of grid. But it went well. I'm quite sure it was very close to not going well, so yeah, I'm just rolling with that now.
Indeed, so we will definitely see you there, Johan, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, so now we will be wrapping up. So again, thank you to all to the series organizers for putting on such a good event with a big turnout, as we see week in, week out. Thank you to all the drivers who have partook here today, and thank you to every single one of you viewers. Make sure to check out Cyanide Super Formula Challenge, their Discord. And if you're interested in racing, remember you have to set a few lap times and be in the top 20, but as you can see, it usually leads to a very good racing, usually clean racing. And hopefully next time the Cyanide can give me a nice little commentary livery, so it's not such a white car. While it is nice.
What do you mean? You do have a livery.
I don't have a
You
livery.
didn't download it.
I
You do have a livery.
I
You have
downloaded this
the
round 4 pack.
the same livery as Andy Park and the other drivers with the Milka purple livery.
That,
That's your livery.
that explain why my car is blank.
Yeah, but you did see Andy Park's livery today, though. You should be having the exact same livery. Let me check.
Oh, Andy Park, I could see Andy Park's livery. I cannot see mine. But digressing. Thank you to everyone who has been watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure to check out the calendar. We have Spa, Imola, Paul Ricard, and Losail coming up. Races every 2 weeks on Saturday, 5 p.m. UK time, whatever it is, UTC or your time zone. You have to do converting. There'll be too many times to list. Look at the Discord as I now will leave you with the royalty-free music, and see you. See you next week with Let for Racing Scene 2 weeks for Sunlight. So take care of yourselves.